Good evening to all those people that live around the world. It is currently Tuesday, March the 5th at 11:20 p.m. right here, Central Australian time. If you haven't already done so, please hit that like button, subscribe, and share it amongst your friends if you shall wish. My name is Jamie. I am the host of Southern Truth. If you haven't already been following the stories or the videos lately, I've been following a massive YouTube channel called What the Hales. They've got over 700,000 subscribers, and Jeremy, who is the host of What the Hales, has been put through, quote unquote, the mill of a court battle with his neighbor across the road from his property down in Otter Creek, Florida. And this is coming up to be a catastrophe in the Constitution of America. What I mean by a catastrophe, well, multiple violations that Judge Thomases, which we all nickname him now Grudge Judge, have taken away the First Amendment, freedom of speech, taken away his Second Amendment, right to protect himself, taken away a speedy trial, taken away proper due access to his property, Jeremy's property. And basically now what happened just before Friday court hearing last week, there has been a motion, or should I say a petition, to stay, basically put everything on hold, so to speak, so a higher upper can look at the procedures that's been going on till now to see if the judge that is currently sitting on this trial is fit for the case. So what that means, well, Jeremy has got a temporary protection order put on him via, where you live in the world. I say tomato, you say tomato. Let's go back. A temporary protection order been put on Jeremy due to an accusation from Lynette, who is the petitioner, stating that the previous attorney that Jeremy was representing tried to bribe her a sum of money to make this case all disappear. And the judge took that upon himself and took that as basic facts because he had a personal issue with Mark Feather, and basically took that as truth because Judge Thomas thought that is the law and placed a temporary protection order. But now that everything has been put on hold, that temporary protection order has now become a non-use by date temporary. That means it's indefinite. That could be a couple of weeks, could be a month, could be 6 months, could be a year. Who knows what will happen? But I just find it a little bit sad when I was watching What the Hales video, two videos, the video before the live stream they did on that Sunday night, how Jeremy's attorney Shuttett and Silverman were trying to educate Judge Thomas's on basic procedure in regarding to the writ or the stay. And Judge Thomas is saying that he's been in the legal system for 40 years, but yet he still doesn't know what the writ procedures are, doesn't know if he has any jurisdictions or blah, blah, blah. Got one thing to say about that if Judge Thomas thinks he's been in the legal system for 40 years. Debonk! He has not. He needs education. And I find that very, very sad, to be honest. But as many other people, including myself, we all have our own opinions and our own theory in relate to the case that's currently going on. And we are entitled to our opinions, but when it comes to judging, this Judge Thomas is doing it not only out of bias or doing out of the contrary of trying to be unconstitutional. In my opinion, I truly believe Judge Thomas is basing his judgment based on his own personal opinions or his own personal beliefs rather than following the actual law, if you understand my point. This has become more of a personal issue rather than doing the due process issue. Judge Thomas has made this personal. For whatever reason, for whatever purpose, he has made this case personal, which is not the right thing to do, in my opinion. He's attacked Jeremy Hale's previous attorney, Mark Feather, had tried to do the judgment based on his own opinion, his own theory. And by doing that, hasn't allowed Jeremy's own legal team to present any evidence. More importantly, haven't been allowed to be able to voice their argument without any interruption by by Judge Thomas. Sorry, there's so many players involved in this case. Just bear with me. So yeah, I truly believe that all of this is due to a personal issue, personal opinion, rather than following what the true law is about, taking away the First Amendment, trying to find Mark Feather guilty because he supposedly had court material footage when he's not supposed to. It's supposed to be this and it's supposed to be that. The court footage is public knowledge. It's all unedited, it's all raw. Nothing confidential that was brought up in the videos whatsoever. But what judge decided, no, I'm going to find Mark Feather guilty for not doing the right thing by protecting that courtroom footage, but allowing Jeremy Hale to broadcast it on his YouTube channel. Well, while we're on that topic about this YouTube channel footage or courtroom footage, whatever you use for, Jeremy Hale posted up a video earlier today, Australian time, on his YouTube channel. And I've dropped What the Hale's link in the description. If you haven't been to his YouTube channel, What the Hale's YouTube channel, it's in the description. Go over there and subscribe and watch it unfold. I'm going to play a couple of snippets from What the Hale's today's episode. This is the issue about the courtroom video. If courtroom videos that's already been recorded on video, if that allowed to be used on a public platform like YouTube and the like. Let me put my headphones on so I can get the mixer and audio all sorted for you guys. So here we go. Take it away.
And we continued this from the prior hearing. And this is an order to show cause. Mr. Feather, did you have an opportunity to review the order to show cause?
I did, John.
All right.
So Mark Feather was Jeremy Hale's previous attorney before Lynette Preston made an allegation that Mark Feather tried to bribe Lynette Preston a sum of money. Therefore, he had to step down from being Jeremy Hales' attorney, and now he's a witness. But this is a court hearing on Mark Feather, whether he was guilty of not protecting the courtroom footage, so to speak. So this is courtroom footage. It's been about 5 cases at the moment. Well, 5 hearings, I should say. There we go.
So this is a order to show cause why there should not be civil contempt in this case. Let me have you raise your right hand. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do. Attorney Feather.
So here we go. This is Jeremy from What the House. Let's have a listen to what he's got to say here.
Is a man of high integrity, high character. He is a well-respected attorney in this area with the highest reviews. This man is who people want representing him.
And unfortunately can't represent Jeremy at the moment because he is now witness. So let's go back here.
Is here on your behalf. Mr. Vipperman, have you had an opportunity to go over this rule to show cause with your client?
We have, Your Honor. We've talked about it extensively and are prepared to present my client as a witness for the court, or the court can inquire, whichever the court wishes.
Well, I think I would say that the first.
And this judge is not Judge Thomas. This is a different judge that is higher up than Judge Thomas. This is a totally different judge altogether. We'll get to Judge Thomas's courtroom footage in a second.
Question is, how does your client plead?
Not guilty, Your Honor.
All right.
So Mark Feather pleads not guilty, but yet Judge Thomas's, not this judge, you'll say Judge Thomas's in a minute. Judge Thomas's find Mark Feather guilty. Here we go.
Is that correct, Mr. Feather?
Yes, sir. Mark Feather pleads not guilty, and he has every legal right to, because he took an oath not to share confidential information.
Now, no courtroom footage was recording or maintained any confidential information whatsoever. There was nothing confidential in it whatsoever. Therefore, Mark Feather said, no, I'm not guilty. So let's go here.
Oh, who knows in Levy County?
All right. Well, Mr. Feather, the court has taken judicial notice of the file. I have, if you wish, you deny that you requested the unredacted copies of the
Unredacted and redacted mean the same thing. Basically, you can, well, even the law attorneys or whoever can apply for a copy of the video, and some may get it redacted, most get unredacted. It's the same thing, basically.
hearings from November 29th and December 6th.
I do not deny that, Your Honor.
All right. And that you signed the prohibition against dissemination of those unredacted. Is that accurate?
I do not deny that I've made that request.
Your Honor, so that we're strictly correct, I think that prohibition was actually signed by an employee in his office, but that doesn't change anything. I believe I've got the witness here who may have actually signed that.
Understood. Well, so Mr. Feather, your agent requested this at your direction that these copies be made.
That's correct, Your Honor.
You authorized them to obtain unredacted copies.
Yes, sir.
You understand that the Supreme Court of Florida basically has required that those be only given to certain individuals and only under that we basically tracked with the court's administrative order, the Florida Supreme Court requirement that those only be disseminated to individuals who do sign and agree that they will not disseminate those recordings.
To disseminate means to broadcast, to publish, to share.
So let me get back here to you guys. If it's against the law, and let's ask a question for any YouTube creator out there or anyone that will be watching lately, I want you to comment underneath the video later on when you watch it. Do you think it's against the law for a judge to decide or a Supreme Court to decide that you should not be able to broadcast a courtroom footage, whether it has confidential information in it or not? Should you, as a YouTube creator, be allowed to broadcast courtroom footage? Leave your comment down below, because here's the thing. Many channels and many courtroom media channels broadcast it directly live to the YouTube channel that they have. So if a jurisdiction or a Supreme Court ruling states that you can't broadcast courtroom footage, then how come certain other avenues and certain other channels on YouTube can? Why does it have to favor only one direction? Where, if you look at the O.J. Simpson trial, that was broadcast to the world. Yeah? There's been so many things. As long as it's not going to put the case in jeopardy, there shouldn't be anything to worry about. But I get it. Hear me out. In society, we live by what they call trial by media. And yes, everybody has a form of an opinion, whether that opinion is biased or not, whether that opinion is based on fact, evidence or not. There's a trial by media, rather than having a trial by jury. But this is not a criminal case. This is a civil case. It's not a criminal case. This Jeremy Hales court battle at the moment, it's a civil case. It's not a criminal case. So let's ask the question again. Because it's a civil case, should it be allowed to be broadcast on a public platform like YouTube? Jeremy owns the YouTube channel. He has got the right and permission of the videos. Every courtroom session that he's been in, he has got a hold of. He paid a sum of money legally to maintain that copy. So should that be allowed to be broadcast on his YouTube channel? This is the argument here. So we're going to skip that. If you want to watch that full episode of earlier today, go to Jeremy Hales' YouTube channel. Yeah. But I want to go back to Friday video, right, of what actually transpired, right, with all this from Judge Thomas's, yeah, on Friday. Remember, he had to be educated, and he said that he was in the law firm for 40 years. Well, debunk, you haven't. It's pretty sad just to see that Judge Thomas's needs to be educated. Let's watch this video when when the adverts are stopped. You know, YouTube's got to make some money somehow, eh? The adverts. Yeah, the adverts. But anyway. All right, check this out. All right, check this out. All right, here we go. This is Friday. This is about Friday courtroom. All right, what actually happened. So here we go. Take it away, Jeremy.
By 3. One dropped out. Mark Feather. The man hates Feather for some reason.
Mr. Silverman, if you and your client could take the
Now, this is the courtroom setting on the 28th of February. This is what happened on the 28th.
table to my left, your right. Shockett, the other one.
If you see the lady in the black with the headband on the left of screen, that is Lynette Preston. That's the lady that lives across the road from Jeremy Hales. And here comes Jeremy in the blue top.
I already have a civil protection order against Lynette and John Crook, which
He does. So let's just fast forward a bit. All right, here's Judge Thomas's. Here we go. Let's check this out.
2023
Here, here.
DR 416. The matters for which are on the court docket include an amended order scheduling hearing, motion for sanctions from January 19, motion in limine, January 24, motion to terminate deposition, February 9, motion for protective order, February 16, motion
Just
to
get on with
dismiss,
it.
February 18.
Get on with it, man.
Motion for sanctions, February 18 as well. Each of
Come on, man.
those are in the amended order scheduling hearing. There was a prior order scheduling hearing from February 20th that included
If his sideburns or whatever you want to call them get any wider, he might grow some wings and start to fly off like a bird.
all but one of those motions. The additional one was added so we can resolve it. The case is otherwise scheduled for final hearing.
The final hearing hasn't been set yet. Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute.
On Friday, March 1.
all of these motions, except for one, to stop the deposition, that was Joshua Silverman, a defense attorney, a criminal defense attorney out of Gainesville. Why?
So Silverman and Judge Thomas, they are best of buddies. They were in the criminal thing together and so forth. But yeah,
Does Lynette need a criminal defense attorney in a civil injunction?
that's a good question. Why did Lynette need a criminal defense attorney when it's a civil case? It's not a criminal case, it's a civil case. Yeah. Brings me round, baby, like a record.
Case who's best buds with Craig DeThomas's.
Mm.
Ponder on that one for a little bit.
Yeah.
All of these motions have been brought by my team, and DeThomas's has been ignoring them for weeks, literally ignoring them. And now, 2 days before the final hearing, he's going to have something to say about them.
Intervening and needing to be addressed also is a motion for stay of the trial court proceedings.
Which means everything, a motion to freeze it so he can be reviewed.
Filed today's date, February 28th at 9:55 a.m.
I'm going to explain exactly what he's talking about. I have filed 3 motions to disqualify Judge Craig DeThomas's thus far based on his bias, based on my fear of not receiving a fair trial under his presiding on that bench. And he's denied all 3. This man is beyond biased. This man cannot rule in this case. He's acted as a litigator, as a lawyer for Lynette. He has belittled myself and all of my legal team.
And costing Jeremy tens and tens and tens of thousands of dollars by doing it. Just over $80,000, but no big deal. All right, let's listen to a bit more of the courtroom. Here we go.
If I can, I'm going to just start on the right here. If you guys can just all identify yourselves for the record by stating your full name.
Doreen Euclides, Shockett Law Group, counsel for Jeremy Hales.
Jeremy Hales.
May it please the court, Randy Shockett, Shockett Law Group, Trenton, Florida, on behalf of Mr. Hales.
Joshua Silverman on behalf of the petitioner, Lynette Preston.
Lynette Preston.
Why didn't Lynette say her name is Michelle? As a matter of fact, she just changed her Facebook profile to say Michelle Preston Senior.
Trying to follow the footsteps of Russell Meek Sr. Yep. My name is Lynette Preston Sr. I'm going to be Russell Meek Sr. sidekick. All right, here we go.
Right, it would seem prudent for the court to address the issue with regards to the motion for stay. The court has received and reviewed the motion. As I understand the motion, there is an intent to consider or to file a petition for writ of prohibition. The court docket, which I, before coming in here just a little while ago, confirmed that there are no other pleadings that were filed since, but I just want the record to be clear.
Hearing number 5, first time Lynette pulls a mask out. Remember, she's lied before and said she must always wear a mask everywhere she goes because
maybe she wears a mask to cover her diabetes from spreading, but it won't stop her from spreading, unfortunately. She just gets caught out every time.
her child has a life-threatening disease.
Is there a writ of prohibition that's been filed?
No, Your Honor, it's being prepared.
A petition for writ of
A
prohibition?
petition for writ of prohibition is being prepared. It's not quite ready yet. And the rules allow this, the case law allows us to advise the court ahead of time when there's such imminence coming with the first. So that's why we did that in exercise of caution. Mr. Silverman has agreed to it as well with continuing the TRO.
The writ of prohibition, we're asking the higher courts to actually prohibit Judge Craig DeThomas's ruling on this case.
Now, you just watch the education process that Jeremy's lawyer trying to give Craig DeThomas. Now, Craig DeThomas got a YouTube channel when he was trying to get elected to be a judge, stating that he was been in the law for 40 years. But it's sad to be educated. You're going to see it. Take it away, Jeremy.
It's because
Recordings just got better.
I don't like advertisements. Give me a second. Don't like advertisements. There we go. We'll play it from here. All right, play it from here.
about it. And the TRO, that's the temporary restraining order, or in Florida, it's also called an injunction. And that's what's on me right now. Not based on what I've done, based on her lies and what she said my previous lawyer did.
Well, there may be consensus, but I want to hear from both counsel as to why the court should exercise discretion, because it's styled as a motion to stay, which is a proper nomenclature.
Before I continue, put your bets in how much or how many times Judge DeThomas interrupts Lynette's attorney, and put your bets in how many times this judge interrupts Jeremy's attorney. Place your bets in now.
Nomenclature to use, but effectively it's also a motion to continue and delay the proceedings. And the totality of the circumstances would include, at a minimum, that the respondent has been represented by counsel for 3.5 months. For more than 2.5 of those months, he's been represented by 3 separate attorneys, 2 within the same law group, 1 from a separate law group, and has asked for a continuance and has been granted a continuance on November 29, December 1st, December 5th, January 4th, and now we're here again on a 5th motion to continue on behalf of the respondent, while at the same time, the pleadings include and the history includes complaints about delay in the proceedings, among other things. And
the reason why of the delay is because you keep bashing your gun for freaking hours upon hours, racking up the courtroom time for Jeremy's legal team to be able to respond or to speak. Therefore, it has to be a continuance, or in your words, Judge DeThomas, a delay. But that's not on Jeremy's side. That is all done on Lynette's side and her legal team. And also, it's on your head too, Judge Thompson. You're wasting time. This should have been all dealt with months ago. But you have to drag your feet in the mud like a kangaroo court to keep delaying the process. But you want to blame Jeremy and his legal team? Yeah, whatever.
It's kind of inconsistent with asking, in effect, for another continuance.
This rogue judge is lying through his teeth. November 29th, I did not ask for a continuance. And he just went through all these dates saying the respondents asked for a continuance. It was him who was talking and let Lynette take control of the courtroom. And you can see that court video on the Otter Creek playlist. It was him that said, we're going to come back and do this. I didn't ask for a continuance. On December 6th, I had to ask for a continuance because Lynette, she falsely accused my lawyer, who is now a witness in this case, stating that he tried to bribe her. Within 24 hours, I defined new legal representation because now he's a witness. It was forced continuance based on what she said. She lied. She did. The next continuance was based on her dodging her depositions. The next continuance was based on her dodging the depositions. She went as far as lying, saying her mom died. Her mom is not dead. John Crook, he dodged the depositions. The next continuance, because some fool, this female who was never going to see a penny of her money back, gave her $7,000 to find a legal lawyer, a criminal defense lawyer. Why does Lynette need a criminal defense lawyer out of Gainesville in a civil suit of an injunction? Go figure that one out. Well, maybe because she's a criminal and she's done criminal acts and she knows she has. So now there's another continuance. How in the world can this judge watch any of his hearings and claim he's not biased when he just said, I caused 5 continuances, when the reality is I haven't caused any of them. I asked for one because of what Lynette caused.
Your Honor, maybe heard on that. Maybe heard on.
I don't have to say anything else. Jeremy just basically just laid it all out for you people to here it is. But I want to play a little bit more of this video, and then if people want to watch the full entire video, go to What the Hales YouTube channel and click on the playlist Otter Creek and subscribe and show your love and support to Jeremy and George for What the Hales. Right? I'm here to commentate my thoughts and my opinions in regard to this, and I truly see this judge absolutely, he is a numbskull, seriously, an absolute numbskull, trying to say that he upholds the constitutional right, the founding, Bill of Rights for every American citizen, and people say, Jamie, you've got no say in the matter. You're a foreigner. You're in Australia. I have friends that I love and care about in the United States of America. And quite frankly, they say that I probably know a little bit more about the Constitution than the average Joe Blow in America. But that doesn't make me any great or better than the person. That's just their opinion, what they think about me. But I have friends in there, in the music business, and people that I met while I've been traveling that lived in America. America's in a very fragile state right now. Very fragile at the moment. And with this played out in front of the world in a courtroom, just shows you how much corruption is really going on behind that curtain.
On that point.
Yeah, I want, that's what I'm saying. I want to hear from you on support for your motion to stay,
Absolutely.
which effectively continues the matter.
Okay, thank you. And we do disagree with the court.
London, Rome, Santorini,
hold
and
up.
Paris are.
Hold up. I don't like freaking adverts. Hold up. Let's just play this for a second. Come back to me. I'll put this on. These adverts in YouTube, but they gotta make their money worth anyway. Anyway, we'll continue when it comes back. Yeah, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Here we go.
How many continuances we've asked for.
Well, the
We
record is the
totally-
record, and you've got appellate review.
Right.
If the court's wrong about that,
Here we go again. Count how many times Judge with a grudge. This is Judge Grudge interrupts my legal counsel, but does not interrupt her legal counsel. The buddy
you're
that he
betting
used to
now.
be a defense attorney with. Criminal defense attorneys, buddy together, won't interrupt him, but interrupts my side over and over and over again, and somehow claims he's not biased.
Well, but
You've
the
got a
record
remedy.
reflects that on the 29th of November, this case started at maybe 2 or 3 hours into it. The petitioner was in the middle of her case. There had to be a continuance. There had to be a continuance.
but your co-counsel represented to the court that he needed minutes to complete the entire case without additional discussion.
Co-counsel Mark Feather. Hey, Grudge Judge. I don't like how you disrespecting the feather. We have a massive children's super group called the Wiggles. They're from Australia, and one of the characters in the Wiggles is Captain Feathersword. Do you hate feathers? Do you, Grudge Judge? Do you? No. You hate feathers, do you? Everybody, if you can get the address of Lever County District Court, please post as many feathers you can to this judge.
Discovery without additional grounds for continuance, and then there were, and now 5 continuances despite those representations. And
This is like Jerry Seinfeld with Newman, his nemesis. Newman, Mark Feather, your co-counsel. My co-counsel, actually, he withdrew because he could see how toxic this man was against him and how it's affecting my case. And here's what you're going to see next. You're going to see Craig DeThomas's tip his hat and let you know he's watching the videos, because he's going to state, and I know you take issue with me continuing to bring it up. I take issue with every single time you bring it up. You should be an unbiased, impartial. It's part of the job as a judge, Craig.
I know you take issue with the court bringing that up again, but that's the inception of the case, which would have been done by the court saying November 30, the next day at 9 a.m., we'll reconvene so that your client wouldn't have a temporary injunction necessarily hanging over his head. In fact, your co-counsel said he was so sure that with just a few minutes of time, the court would be dismissing this.
What Mark Feather said is this could be over and done if we look at the law right now. Even in Lynette's petition, she states Jeremy tells all his fans never contact me. She admits it in her actual petition, and this judge does nothing with that ammittal. Then Mark Feather says, can we have 15 minutes to bring the witnesses, Otter Creek's mayor and her husband, so they don't have to come back another day and be inconvenienced. He didn't say we were going to be done with all of this in 15 minutes.
And then the other side of you guys' mouth is saying we need another 5th continuance. So I don't understand how it could have been done in minutes, but now 3.5 months later, we're at a standstill or going back.
If I could continue without interruption, Judge, I really want to get there like you do. I want to just tell you what there's 2 different views here. The case had to be continued. I haven't seen an official transcript, but my impression of what I saw was, and I could be corrected, but I'm pretty sure Mr. Feather had witnesses here. And he said he would like them to go out of turn because she was in the middle of her case and it may take 15 minutes. I didn't hear him say, I need 15 minutes for my entire case. I thought he wanted to just have them go out of turn. But then there was this issue it's regretful to watch this, what's going on here, December 1st, December 6th, or November 30th. I don't know what happened there, but it clearly got set, but it had to be continued until the 6th. So there was no request for
I found
continuance.
good cause for the continuance. So
Want to talk about somebody double speaking both sides?
All right, I'll come at you guys. If you want to watch the full episode, I have dropped that video in the description below. And also, if you want to go to What the Hales YouTube channel, please go over there and subscribe and give them all the love and support as you can. I just want to go for 20 minutes on my thoughts on this case. This case should never have gotten this far. to begin with. If the judge did his due diligence and the right procedures that he is sworn and upheld the Constitution of the judge should do. But this judge embedded himself to treat this as a criminal case rather than a civil case, in my opinion. And he's trying to make an example out of Jeremy by saying, no matter what you say, I'm going to say it's false. And anyone that lies who is lying that, I'm going to take that as a form of truth. And this should never have gotten any further. Basically, if Florida did the right thing by granting the protection order that Jeremy and George have been given from Ohio to protect themselves against Lynette and John Cook, if Florida enforced that protection order in place, this whole thing will not be in court. This is one of the reasons why Jeremy is in court, to hold Florida accountable for not enforcing the protection order that they were granted up in Ohio. This is the whole reason why it's in court. And not only that, Lynette decided to put an injunction on Jeremy, not George, on Jeremy, to make up all these lies and deceitfulness and so forth. But this court case should not have gone this far. Yes, there might be a pause in it at the moment, but besides the point, Jeremy has already spent over $80,000 to defend himself in his legal fees. And it's just going to keep going up and up and up and up. But I want to say this. So this one has been put on pause. The other counterattack that Jeremy and his legal team is doing is defamation. And then it goes from that to, a few other things in the laundry list. But I want to ask people a question. Who do you think the judge is going to decide on the defamation case? Judge, the Thomases. And if he's already doing his bias ruling in the cases so far, imagine what the defamation case ruling that Judge Thomas is going to hand out. My opinion is that Judge Thomas shouldn't be on the bench in this. This is a civil case, not a criminal case. It can go criminal, but it hasn't. It's a civil case. At the moment, it's a civil case. Could there be criminal charges in the future? Possibly. That's not for me to decide. I'm not the one who's partaking in the court procedures. Jeremy and George is. And whatever pathway they choose, that's up to them. But at the moment, it's only a civil. It's not criminal. So if this judge trying to treat this as a criminal case, he was a criminal attorney at one point in time. So why treat it as a criminal case when it's not a criminal case? It's a civil case. Because the judge is corrupt. The judge is biased. And whether people have their own opinion or not, see it for what you see. If you haven't already seen it, go to What the Hales YouTube channel and go to the playlist Otter Creek. It's all sitting there. All plain and simple. And people ask, Jamie, why are you talking about it? Because I'm seeing corruption myself. Not only that, I support Jeremy and George. Like they treasure hunters, they do storage units and other wonderful things. I like collecting sport memorabilia, music memorabilia. And I think Jeremy and George had something in common that I do. You know, I used to work in a second-hand furniture store. You know, they love giving to people. You know, and I just find it that I can connect with something that I do in my daily life. I collect music memorabilia, collect sports memorabilia. My partner collects movies. She's a massive Johnny Depp fan. You know, she's got Pirates of the Caribbean. She's got, she's into, obviously she's into Harry Potter as well. That's my partner. She's into Harry Potter. And she collects stuff. So we do treasure hunting at flea sales, you know, flea markets and that. And to tell you the truth, there's not many flea markets around, especially here in Adelaide at the moment. There used to be, but they shut them down. But once in a while, you will see a flea market pop around, and Shay and I will go there, you know. As a matter of fact, there's one flea market that Shay and I go to is once a month, which is down by the beach where we live. And they have all these sellers down there that sells, you know, treats for your pet dog. Yeah, like dog biscuits and cake and lamingtons and so forth. And there's another one where I can buy American food, like people say that the Captain Crunch peanut butter cereal. I can get it here at the flea market, and I love it. But that's something that Jeremy and George has in common with me. Jeremy's into Ghostbusters. I'm into Back to the Future. My cousin, he looks identical to Michael J. Fox from Back to the Future. Hands down. But enough of that. If you want to watch the case continuing as it is, go to What the Hales YouTube channel. There's a playlist called Otter Creek. You'll see it all there. I just don't think this case should have gotten this far, but it has. Unfortunately, it has. And for some, we see the bias, we see the uncertainty, we see the judge not following due process, not even allowing freedom of speech, not allowing protection, not allowing full access to the property that they own. And as a matter of fact, there's an abandoned car that's left on Jeremy's property, but Jeremy can't go there because the temporary protection order stopped him from getting to that part of his property to remove the vehicle. Thank you, Judge Grudge, not. Oh well, if you haven't already done so, please like, give us a thumbs up, leave a comment. What do you think that Judge Thomas is? The question I asked at the beginning, is it against the law or do you need permission if you have maintained copies of courtroom footage? Is it against the law to broadcast that on your own platform like YouTube, if you have a YouTube channel? Leave a comment below. I want to say pray for Jeremy and George, pray for the people of Otter Creek, Levy County, and also pray for you. No matter what struggles you may or may not have, pray for yourself, pray for your family, and also give my love and support to you and your family as well. We'll catch you on the next one, whenever that one shall be.